If you're dealing with recovering from wildfires around the state leaders say taxes should not be another concern for you. We're going to explain who's eligible for extra time to file this year coming up.
One cell phone company is raising their prices. Which one and when you will start seeing that increase?
And the heat will continue today. We're taking a live look over Denver here. Temperatures expected to get back into the 90s. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Drew Carney.
I'm Jennifer Meckles in for Corey Rose this morning. Meteorologist Chris Bianchi is back on the morning show today. Happy to have you. We got this kind of weird fill-in situation this morning.
Yeah.
3 of the 4 people are not here today.
You know what? It's fun to be back here for a little visit.
Let's be honest. That alarm goes off this morning. You go, oh, this is nice to have this again. You're like, oh my goodness gracious.
You know, crazy enough, I got up before my alarm. I got up at 2:20 this morning.
It's called nervous energy.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous. My wife was actually checking a few times at me, just saying like, like making sure that I made the alarm. Here we go.
Baby.
Yeah, I'm back for one day. Meantime, let's take a look at that forecast. Stop me if you've heard this before. It's going to be hot and dry today, so just please don't be shocked about the fact that it's going to be another scorcher for us in the Denver area. But if you want some relief, you want some of that beneficial rain, you want some of those cooler temperatures, we have it in the 7-day outlook. It's just not here yet, not here for the next couple of days. About 70 for us right now as we wake up on this Wednesday morning, July the 15th, mostly in the 50s and 60s Eastern Plains, 50s across the mountains. So now's the time to get outside and get that jog, that dog walk in, because of course coming up here in a few hours, it's going to get pretty toasty. Radar's quiet at the moment, but we top out at 95 today in Denver. It's a sunny and hot day. Daily record is 101. We won't be anywhere close. Well, we won't be too close to that. We'll be about 5 degrees above average for this time of year today. But if you're looking for some of that relief, a lot of you asking, when's it going to cool down? When are we going to get some of that beneficial rain back in the picture? You don't have to wait too much longer. I'll tell you about that in a full look at the 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Chris?
Looking forward to that. We are starting to see some volume build. We're in the 6 o'clock hour now, so pretty typical to see traffic building here on I-270 across Commerce City, and we can verify that if we flip over to the maps. Now, good news, most of the map is still green, but a few areas of volume starting to build, and again, one of those right here on 270 as you go across Commerce City. The other one, southbound I-25, right after 104th, you're going to start tapping those brakes, but overall still averaging about 56 miles per hour as you come down into Denver from the north side. Looking decent on 225, although a little bit of slowing here north of Mississippi as you go north toward I-70.
All right, thank you, Chris. We know several large wildfires continue to burn across the state this morning. In all, these fires have burned nearly 400 square miles, which is about the size of Dallas, Texas. And as you can see from this map, they're mainly in the west and to the south.
In northwest Colorado, officials are keeping a very close eye on 2 fires burning near Steamboat Springs. As of this morning, the Fishhook fire has burned 229 acres in Routt County. Officials say those flames are about a mile from Highway 40 on Rapid Ears Pass. Highway 40 remains open at this point, but travelers should expect to see smoke over the next few days. Now to the southwest part of the state, firefighters are gaining some real ground on the Ferris fire. That one started by lightning back on June 27th. The fires burned more than 100 square miles across Dolores and Montezuma counties. Crews have it 43% contained.
We're also keeping a close eye this morning on the Gold Mountain fire. This one has burned more than 57 square miles in Ouray County. Firefighters still not sure what started it, but we do know a 56-year-old pilot died while trying to fight this fire. The Upper Pine River Fire Protection posted a tribute on social media. They say Nicholas Dale from British Columbia was not only a skilled firefighting pilot, but also he was instrumental, they say, in the construction of an important ski lift at Wolf Creek. Helicopter Express, which owned the helicopter that he was flying, says he's survived by his wife and 2 children. 4 people have died now altogether fighting wildfires in Colorado this year. Emily Barker, Nick Hutcherson, and Sydney Watson died while fighting what would eventually be called the Snyder Fire. That's right along the Utah border. 2 others were also seriously hurt fighting that very same fire.
Colorado's Department of Revenue is now offering an extension on tax filing deadlines to the taxpayers in these communities affected by wildfires right now. The agency, the state, says all residents and businesses across Lake County, Mesa, Pueblo, Ouray counties, and the others all affected, they're all eligible for extension. And that list will expand based on any new emergency declarations from the governor's office. Taxpayers in those counties will have until the end of the year now to file their income and sales tax filings, which are usually due in October. And really important note here, this extension only applies for state taxes. It does not change the deadlines or rules with your federal or municipal taxes.
Very important note there. All right, for the second time in less than a week, a person was rescued from an abandoned missile silo in Arapahoe County. The sheriff's office says deputies spotted 2 cars parked near the gate of this, again, silo in Arapahoe County. This is a private piece of property Tuesday night. While they were looking around, they heard voices coming from inside the silo. Deputies found a 19-year-old man and a 28-year-old woman about 60 feet down. They say neither were hurt, but both were issued summons for trespassing.
Thousands of Xcel customers in Larimer County are expected to lose power late tonight. Roughly 2,000 people across Larimer County. So if it's you, this is the west side of I-25 near Boyd Lake, south of Highway 34 and north of East County Road 16. That is the zone impacted. You should have gotten an automated call from Xcel yesterday to notify you of this planned outage. It's supposed to start tonight at 8 o'clock and last until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Crews are going to be working on the transmission system being conducted by another power provider. Back here in the metro, the Gaylord is dropping its sales tax lawsuit against Adams County. This was first reported by our partners at the Denver Business Journal. Resort owners had accused the county of inflating the property's value during assessments, so they had to pay more in taxes. The Gaylord filed several lawsuits to try to reduce their tax burden, but this week the resort walked away from its lawsuit without a settlement, and they did not comment further. County leaders told the Business Journal the Gaylord will pay its taxes as assessed.
The area around Ball Arena could soon get a major makeover. Denver City Council is moving forward at this point with plans for a pedestrian bridge over Spear Boulevard at Wawata. This is currently called Wynkoop Crossing. Once it opens up, it would connect Lodo, that is, with a planned redevelopment project right around the arena.
Very lightly touches down in Lodo, and then it crosses over Spear, and then it touches down on the arena side in the middle of a pretty intense entertainment district with a hotel, residential buildings, and a music venue.
City Council approved the project on first reading Monday night. It still needs final approval, though, next week. And if it passes, construction, they say, could begin as early as this fall. Developers hope to have the bridge ready by 2028 if Denver is chosen to host the Democratic National Convention.
One of downtown Denver's most popular rides could soon disappear. RTD is considering cutting the 16th Street ride, the free ride, as it looks to close more than a $200 million budget gap. That free shuttle carried more than 2.3 million riders last year. It's one of RTD's most used bus routes. Now the agency is looking at cutting other bus and light rail service too. At this point, they say, we're just talking about proposals. Nothing is final. RTD's board will review the options this week, and if they approve any cuts, nothing would take effect until mid-2027.
Denver is ending its DMV rolling closures next month. The city started shutting down one of its 4 branches every week back in 2024, part of a budget cut made during the migrant crisis. The city says the closures were done to help maintain service while the crisis, that is, slowed city hiring. The reopenings come as the city says it's now hired new employees. Chris?
Well, Drew, if you have the day off today and you want to go cool off in Evergreen and you go from Morrison to Evergreen on Highway 74, don't. They're doing a big paving project. The westbound lanes are closed from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. from Kittredge to Evergreen. So you would need to access this town of Evergreen by going up to I-70 and down Evergreen Parkway.
And thanks, Chris. And one thing to know about the weather today, it's going to be hot and dry. One thing to know about tomorrow's weather, it's going to be hot and dry. Another thing to know about Friday's weather, it's going to be hot and dry. And this weekend, you guessed it, hot and dry. But then changes arrive for next week. I'll tell you about those in a couple minutes.
Chris, when exactly will it be hot and dry?
Today and tomorrow.
Got it. All right. Well, weeks like this, as Chris just explained, can make it feel like your shoes are actually going to melt into the pavement. And that is the focus of some work right now in the city, removing asphalt and concrete to help cool things down in so-called urban heat islands. 9 News reporter Steve Steger live in 5 Points for us this morning. So, Steve, the city is slowly trying to fix this issue.
Yeah, Drew, you've heard of the term concrete jungle, and when it's hot and dry in a concrete jungle, that tends to radiate heat from pavement like this. They're dense urban areas, not a lot of greenery around here, and that's what they're trying to fix. So when the sun shines down here, what it used to look like, that heat would just radiate up. until they built stuff like this throughout 5 Points now. This is a product of Denver's SIGI program. SIGI, Swift Implementation of Green Infrastructure. Basically, they are focusing on city-owned land where they can rip out pavement and rocks and put in native landscape with trees that will hopefully grow tall enough to provide some shade and cool things down. Fun fact, a tree-lined sidewalk is 7% cooler than a sidewalk without trees. Now, Denver's doing this SIGI building in areas desperately needing it right now, places that are hot and places that have also had historically low investments. And right now, the focus is on 5 Points.
And the key is Swift. We want to be able to put facilities like the one you're looking at as quick as we can to kind of keep pace with our changing weather.
So there are 9 sites like this throughout 5 Points right now. You can kind of see it kind of rings around the block here. They've really built what basically is a little urban native landscape. You have native plants, rocks, some drainage that's going to help not only in the summer cooling things down, this is also going to help in the winter because areas that get icy have trouble with drainage. This is going to help with that because it's going to move water off of the street into a different place, and so the sidewalk is not like this. They say the next focus is going to be Lincoln Park and the Valverde neighborhood. Live in Denver, Steve Stager, 9 News.